If your Mac feels a little dated and boring, then you're in luck because Apple just released the brand new macOS 26 upgrade, and it's got a new liquid glass design and a ton of features and functions. Want to know what the best ones are and how to use them? Stick around. I got you covered. I'm Dylan Stewart, the MacWhisperer, and in today's video we're going to count down my 7 favorite features of the brand new macOS 26 upgrade. If you'd like to follow along with today's lesson, hit this QR code right here or head over to the description section where you can download your free Smart Guide. Our Smart Guides are clear, simple visual documents that walk you through all of the features we're going to discuss today. And for sure, don't walk away before hearing my MacWhisperer power tip, because I'm going to reveal a powerful tool that's hidden in plain sight. So what do you say? Let's hop on over to the computer and get started. macOS 26 is filled with brand new features and fantastic updates. For feature number 1, I want to talk about an easy and simple way that you can now customize any folder with colors and with icons. Back in the old days, every one of our folders was just blue. Simple, but hard to tell one folder from the other. But with macOS 26, it's easier than ever to customize your icons and your folders. To see how it works, head over to your desktop or anywhere in your Finder and right-click on one of your folders. When you do, you'll see this menu here with the brand new option to customize your folder. As soon as you click on that, you'll get a pop-up screen that gives you all sorts of options. Up at the top, you can tag it and color-code it. Tags are very useful in the Apple ecosystem because you can separate all of your files using basic categories like money or family or home or documents or legal. You can set up additional tags at any point, but when you're customizing a folder, you can choose the color and the tag that you'd like from right here. Let's click on the TMA category, which will turn this folder red. Down below, we've got a ton of icons that we can add onto the folder. Simple smiley faces or hands or animals. And if that's not enough, click on the emoji button in the bottom right-hand corner to choose from any of your favorite emojis and add them right onto this folder. That makes it so much easier than ever for you to organize your files with tags, color code your folders, and even add beautiful icons. Let's do it again. It's super easy. Let's right-click on the Books to Read folder, head to Customize Folder. Let's make this one blue, and let's come right into the emoji bar and search for books. Here we go. That's a perfect icon. Let's click it, and now I'll always know where my Books to Read folder is without having to hunt around for it. It's a simple new feature, but it's awesome, and it makes it so much easier to get to your folders without wondering which folder is which. For feature number 2, let's talk about the brand new menu bar. If you're like me and you have tons of applications, you'll notice that the menu bar up on the top of your computer can become very cluttered. One of the biggest problems with the menu bar happens when you're on a laptop with a notch. The notch has a tendency of hiding many of your menu items, meaning that even though you've got them up on the bar, it can be hard for you to find the one that you want. It might be hidden underneath that notch. In the past, we had to use third-party programs like Bartender or Barbie to customize and reorganize our menu bar. But Apple's brought those tools in-house, making it easier than ever for you to customize your menu bar and make sure that the tools you need are always visible. Here's how it works. Head over to System Settings, and on the left side, find the section that says Menu Bar. Here you'll see all sorts of tools and options. The default Apple controls show up at the top, allowing you to turn Siri on or off, turn Bluetooth on or off, or turn focus modes on or off. As you scroll a little further down on this page, you're going to come across a section with all of your third-party apps, making it easy for you to turn any of them off or on. This allows you to customize your menu bar and make great use of that menu bar space up at the top without having to compromise. You can move anything you like around and customize it perfectly. And here's an extra little power tip for you. If you'd like to reorganize your menu bar manually, hold the Command button down on your keyboard and you can move icons into any position so that you can find what you're looking for quickly and easily. I use my menu bar all the time, and I've been so frustrated by the notch that hides the tools I use all the time. But that's not a problem anymore. With the new menu bar settings, you can make your menu bar perfect again. For feature number 3, let's talk about the control panel. On the iPhone and the iPad, people use their control panel all the time to turn on airplane mode or adjust their Wi-Fi settings or rewind the song they're playing. But the control panel also exists on the Mac. It's hidden under this little icon on the top of your menu bar. Clicking on it will drop down your control panel. And now you can customize your control panel more than ever before. Click the Edit Controls button down at the bottom of your control panel, and you can remove any of the controls you've got set or add new ones in. Simply highlight the tool that you want and click the plus button or drag it into space and it will immediately get added. Removing one of your control panel tools is just as easy. Come right over, click the minus button, and then find a replacement tool and drag it right over into position just like that. But the changes to the control panel don't stop there, because now you can have multiple control panel pages. So as you set up one control panel with your most used tools like Wi-Fi and Do Not Disturb and Now Playing, you can also create additional control panels with other tools like music recognition or shortcuts, Bluetooth tools or AirDrop tools, or another page that focuses on live speech, screensavers, vocal shortcuts. You can add numerous control panels to your computer super easily and switch between them by clicking on the different icons up on your menu bar. This makes it easier than ever to get right to the tool you want without having to jump into your Applications folder or into your Finder. Simple, easy tools that make it so much better to work on your Mac and easier to get to that exact tool you need with the flick of your wrist. All right, so now that we've gotten warmed up a little bit, let's talk about the granddaddy of all feature updates. For feature number 4, we're going to focus on something that most people have used occasionally on their Mac, but they're going to be using it a lot more moving forward. That's right, we're talking about Spotlight. Spotlight is an amazing search tool that exists on your Mac. By clicking on the magnifying glass up at the top, you open up your Spotlight search. Typing in a few words or a few letters and you can find anything on your computer, on the web, in photos, in mail, pretty much anywhere on your computer. Spotlight's always been a fantastic tool, but unfortunately, most people use it wrong. They tend to search for everything inside of Spotlight rather than going to where the content is. You see, there's a problem with Spotlight. When you do a search in Spotlight, it doesn't just show you what's on your computer. It searches the entire universe, the entire internet, and every app you've got. Which means when you're looking for a simple document that's sitting on your desktop, instead of finding that document, you're going to find things from WhatsApp, things from websites, things from notes, things from emails, things from third-party apps, and so much more. It's an exhausting way to find things. So if you've always been using Spotlight to find everything on your computer, let this be a demarcation point for you. Search in the app that you're looking for, or using some of the Spotlight tools we'll talk about in a moment to supercharge your search and eliminate all of those unnecessary results when you're looking for something that exists right on your Mac. With macOS 26, Spotlight has been endowed with 4 brand new features that work together to help you find what you're looking for quickly. And it starts right over to the right here with the Application Spotlight search. Back in the day, we used to have something called Launchpad that sat on our dock and allowed us to open up the apps on our computer without going into the Applications folder or the Finder. But for me, Launchpad was always a clunky experience. It was uncustomizable and it just didn't look very good. Now with the new Spotlight features, you get a brand new application called Apps that can allow you to easily find any application on your computer. But you don't have to find your apps by clicking on the dock. You can also find them from Spotlight. There's 2 different ways to trigger Spotlight. The first one is by clicking Spotlight in your menu bar. But as we said a moment ago, the menu bar can get really cluttered and sometimes you can't find Spotlight where you expect it to be. A simple click opens it up, if you can find it. But if you can't find it, there's a keyboard shortcut that makes it super easy to get into Spotlight. And you trigger it by hitting the Command button and the space bar just like that. When you open Spotlight up, you can switch between the 4 new sections by using the key code Command 1 for Applications, Command 2 for Files, Command 3 for Actions, and Command 4 for the Clipboard. Gone are the days where you had to hunt around for that application or go through Launchpad to open it up. Now it's as simple as clicking Command Space and typing a few letters until you find the application you're looking for. Pressing the Return button on your keyboard will open that application for you and allow you to get right to work. This makes it so easy, but it's just one part of the new Spotlight functionality. Let's hop back into Spotlight by clicking on it right on the menu bar. Here we've got our Applications section, which we've already talked about. It makes it so easy for you to find apps, and they've even given us filters and categories so you can jump right to your social media apps, or your photo and video apps, or your music apps with one simple click. But moving one option over to the right, you get the brand new Files Spotlight feature, and this is a critical game changer. Remember when I was talking about people using Spotlight to find things that are directly on their Mac, and all of the extra information from websites and other apps that shows up? By coming into the Files section for Spotlight, that stops happening. It only looks for the files that are local on your computer. Which means that when you start searching for the file that you're looking for, instead of finding websites and calendar appointments and photos and old information, it only shows you files from your computer itself. And up at the top, we've got our categories and filters, allowing us to find files from Safari or Excel, or even an easy way to find a specific folder. Gone are the days where you had to hunt through all of those results just to find the file that was right in front of you. By using the Files section of Spotlight, it can get you to that file instantly, so you can open it up and get right back to work. But Spotlight's got even more features in store, because if we come over to this third option, we enable something called Spotlight Actions. And Spotlight Actions allow you to run complicated tasks, scripts, or shortcuts right from Spotlight, making it easy for you to quickly send a WhatsApp message or a text message, create a new note, send an email, or tons of other options from your main apps and third-party apps. They're all organized right here. So whatever it is that you want to do, if you start typing a couple of letters, you're going to find a ton of options that allow you to do complicated things with a single button click. If I'd like to create a new photo album, all I have to do is click right here. But it gets even better than that, because if you look over to the right side, you'll see this option to add quick keys. Adding quick keys means that by opening up Spotlight and typing in a couple of letters of your choosing, you can perform any action quickly. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to come to the Search Photos section and click where it says Add Quick Keys. When you add quick keys, make sure to make the shortcuts unique and simple. For the Search Photos function, use XSP. I start most of my quick keys with the letter X to make sure I don't accidentally trigger an action I'm not expecting. Once I put in my quick keys, hit the Return button to save them. Now at any point that you want to perform that action, bring up Spotlight and type in your quick keys. Clicking Return will immediately perform that action. In this case, it's asking me what criteria I want to search photos for. I'm going to go ahead and say cats. Let's click Run. It opens up Photos, and boom! There are cats. You can customize any number of actions for all of the things you do regularly, like sending a text message to your friends, or responding to an email, or creating a brand new photo album. No fuss, no muss, no need to even open up the Applications folder. Spotlight's got you covered. But there's one more Spotlight feature that we have to talk about. And this one's amazing because we've been asking for this for years. On the far right side, you will see a Spotlight section for your clipboard. To simply explain how copy and paste works, when you cut or copy an item, it gets saved in this invisible section called the clipboard, which is amazing. But the problem is that the clipboard can only hold one piece of information at a time, which means that when you cut something and then cut something else, you end up replacing the clipboard by accident. But with macOS 26 and the new clipboard feature in Spotlight, your clipboard is saved for 8 hours, meaning anything that you cut or copy shows up here. So rather than having to go back to the drawing board to copy that item again, just come into this list, select the copy button on the right, and paste that item wherever you want. Then come to the next item, copy it again, and paste again. This solves a problem that previously required you to download third-party apps like Paste or Copy Me. These third-party apps are still valuable and offer additional tools beyond what Spotlight gives us, but the ability to have a clipboard with multiple items is so valuable. If you've already purchased one of those third-party apps, you'll probably still use it because they have additional features and functions. But if you haven't purchased one of those apps, don't bother doing it now because Apple's brought it in-house, making your Clipboard Manager free and built in. So those are some of the most amazing features with Spotlight. From the enhanced global Spotlight search that finds everything on websites or on any part of your computer. Don't use that when you know where things are. If you're searching for an email, go to email and search there. If you're searching for a photo, go to photos and search there. But if you have no idea where something is, the global Spotlight search will solve things beautifully. And then we've got the application search, which you can access by hitting Command+1 when you're inside of Spotlight. The files search, Command+2. The action section, Command+3, and the brand new clipboard section, Command+4. I know these new features will completely transform how you use your computer, how you find your files, and even how you perform some of your most common actions. And there's another little power tip for you right here. If you know how to create shortcuts using the Shortcuts app on your Mac, you can trigger any one of those shortcuts right from Spotlight, making it easier than ever for you to run that complicated task. Bravo, Apple! Spotlight finally gets the love that it's deserved and makes it so much more useful than ever before. For feature number 5, we're going to step outside of the Mac system features and into a brand new application. Well, maybe not a brand new application, but a brand new to Mac application called Journal. When the Journal app first arrived on the iPhone with iOS 18, I fell in love with it. I use the iPhone Journal app regularly, adding entries for the date nights that my wife and I go on, the movies that we see, and all the books that I've been reading. But bringing it over to the Mac and to the iPad adds even more features and functionality because now you've got a full-size keyboard and the ability to connect photos, voice memos, and more easily. Take a look at your sidebar on the left side. You'll see insights about how you're using the journal, including how many journal entries you've made, how many you've done this year, and a calendar showing you where all your journals were placed. And right below the Insights section, we've got our Places section, which shows you where you wrote that journal entry if you tagged it with a location. This means that you can scroll right into this map and find that journal entry based on where it was written. But now with macOS 26, we can create as many different journals as we like to separate our writings into different categories. To create a new journal, click the plus button and give it a name. You can choose any color that you like to represent that journal, and you can click any of the glyphs to customize your journal, or you can click on the emoji button in the upper left-hand corner to choose any emoji that you like. Click your Done button in the lower right-hand corner, and presto, a brand new journal for you to organize your writings, the movies you've seen, your books, your date nights, or anything else that you'd like to journal about. To create a new journal entry, click the plus button at the top of your screen. This will open up a page where you can title your journal entry and start writing. Clicking on the Photos icon in your toolbar, you can open up your photo library, allowing you to choose any pictures that you need to augment or support the journal you're creating. Click the Add button in the lower right-hand corner and they will immediately be entered into your journal. On top of that, you can use the Camera button here to take a new photo, this button to add your location to your journal, or this button to add a voice memo that lets you record your voice or anything that you want to hear to add it to the journal. On the Mac app, you can even click this markup button and choose one of your tools down below, allowing you to write or draw on your journal, making it easier than ever for you to start that brand new journaling habit or capture memories from the books that you've read or the events that you've participated in. It's a fantastic new app, and I can't wait to see how you're going to use it to capture those amazing memories. And there's even another brand new app, again, brand new to the computer, that we get on macOS 26 for the first time. And this is something that people have requested for years. If you've got an iPhone and a Mac, you can make and receive phone calls directly on your computer or even on your iPad. But unfortunately, there's no way to manage those phone calls and keep track of them. On the phone, we've got the phone app. So guess what they brought over to the Mac with OS 26? That's right, a brand new phone app for your Mac. The phone app makes it easier than ever for you to make and receive phone calls right from your computer. We've also got additional tools that let you check your voicemail, your unknown callers, any missed callers, and manage call filtering. One of the best features on all of the OS 26 upgrades is the brand new spam filtering tools that exist on the phone, the computer, and the iPad in both the phone app and in iMessage. By clicking on this Manage Filtering button, you can control what phone calls you receive on your Mac and what happens to unknown callers when they reach out to you. You can even use the brand new Hold Assist detection, which means that if you get on a call and you start to hear hold music, your computer will offer to hold on that call for you and notify you when it's time for you to pick up. Scrolling down here, we've got 3 different options for screening unknown callers. You can never screen them, which means that anyone who calls will come straight through to your Mac. You can silence unknown callers, meaning they'll be sent to voicemail where they can leave you a message and you can check it later. But now with OS 26, you can ask the reason for calling. This means that if an unknown caller reaches out to you, rather than going to voicemail, they'll hear a message asking them why they're calling. When they leave that message, it will be transcribed and you'll be notified on your phone, Mac, and iPad about who they are and what they're calling about. And you can click a button to answer it at any time. Back in the phone app, we've got our favorites listed right here and our recent calls underneath. When someone leaves you a voicemail, you can click right on that voicemail and play it right off the Mac. By clicking on the 3 lines at the top, you can move between the calls section and the missed calls section. From the missed calls section to your voicemail. And from voicemail to the new unknown callers section, where any caller that's not in your address book gets organized so it doesn't get in the way of the people you actually know and connect with. Up on the toolbar, we've got an easy keypad allowing you to dial any phone number right from your computer. In order to use the new phone app, you'll need to have an iPhone that's on the same network and relatively nearby to the computer. But once you've got that handled, you can make and receive phone calls from your Mac just like it was a phone. But don't try holding your Mac up to your ear because that's just silly. For feature number 7, I'm going to roll up some of the best updates to our existing apps that Apple has made on this new operating system. Let's start off by popping into the Photos app. The Photos app has been redesigned and cleaned up. Your sidebar offers easy navigation between your library and your collections. Collections are your albums, your shared albums, your people and pets, your media types, and more. The collections section makes it easy for you to organize your photo library and find the exact photo you're looking for quickly. Within the collections section, if you click on the 3 dots here, you can reorganize the separate sections, making sure that the features you use the most are up at the top where you can find them, and the features you don't use that often can be dropped down to the bottom where you don't stumble across them. In addition to that, you can pin specific collections directly onto your sidebar. So if you're always looking for pictures of your daughter, rather than having to hunt around, right-click on her name under the People and Pets section and choose where it says Pin. It'll now show up on the left sidebar here, meaning you're now just 1 click away from gorgeous pictures of your daughter and your brand new granddaughter. The Pin section makes it easier than ever to get to the section you need, whether it's your screenshots, your favorites, your videos, or a specific album. Heading back over to the library section, we've got additional tools here as well. If you use the iCloud Shared Photos library, you can click on your toolbar here to choose between both libraries, just your personal library, or just your shared library. Clicking over here, you can choose between all photos, years, and months, making it easier than ever for you to navigate around your library. And in addition to that, over here you can quickly change the aspect ratio between the normal aspect ratio view and the square aspect ratio view that shows you more photos and lines them all up in perfect squares. To the right of that, clicking these 3 bars can allow you to filter your entire library so that you only see your favorites, or your favorite videos, or just your screenshots. But the best new feature in this filters section is the not in an album selection. This means with one simple click, you can see which of your folders in your library you've put into an album and which of them haven't been sorted into albums yet. This makes it easier than ever for you to find the new pictures you've recently taken and add them to any of the albums in your library. To the right of that, if you click on these three dots, you can choose whether screenshots are shown in your main library view or not, and whether images that were shared with you show up here or not. The shared with you section is when people text or email you photos. They can show up right in your library, but for some people they get in the way. Clicking this checkbox off will hide those screenshots or those shared items. In addition to that, there's brand new editing and search tools that make it easy for you to find what you're looking for quickly. Now let's talk about iMessage. iMessage got a ton of new features in this update, but my favorite one is the ability to add a background to any conversation. These backgrounds add new life into any text message conversation, and you can use your own photos, or if you have Apple Intelligence, you can use it to generate beautiful conversation backgrounds for any one of the people you talk to regularly. These new conversation backgrounds are awesome. But there's other tools as well, including the ability to add a poll into any text message conversation. Click on the plus button here and choose the new polls section, and you can add your choices and find out what movie everybody wants to see or the best date for that upcoming meeting. You can use polls in individual conversations or in group conversations. And on top of that, if you click on any conversation up at the top, you'll get an info screen on the right side. This info screen can allow you to translate any conversation from one language into another. So the next time you're talking to someone and they speak Spanish and you don't, rather than having them speak to you in a second language, they can speak in Spanish and it can be translated for you in real time. iMessage got a ton of new features, and those are a few of the ones I wanted to focus on. Reminders also got some new powerful tools. Coming into the Reminders app, if you have a list like this one with multiple tasks, you can have the computer automatically sort those tasks out for you by simply right-clicking on the list and choosing where it says Auto-Categorize. It'll take just a moment to read what's in that list, and then right in front of you, it will separate it into different categories just like this. Now when the handyman shows up, we've got separate sections for the things we need him to do, from the doors and windows to electrical work, lighting, miscellaneous, and even security cameras. I didn't organize this. Apple did. It's simple, just right-click on any list and choose where it says Auto-Categorize. And not to be left out, even Notes got a new feature in this brand new update. One of the biggest challenges I have with Notes is that I use ChatGPT to create a lot of my documents, but ChatGPT likes to export its information in a very common format called Markdown language. And Markdown language gets used all over the computer in all sorts of different apps and websites. But up until now, Notes couldn't properly read it. But with the macOS 26 update, by coming into the File menu here, you can import a Markdown file into Notes and it will look perfect. Clicking right on the file, you can see in the preview window this is written in some sort of language with hashtags and other icons. Clicking Import pulls it right into Notes with all the proper formatting. The ability to finally import and open Markdown language documents properly is a huge benefit to those of us who are constantly stumbling into this issue. And in addition to that, you can take any one of your notes, come up to the File menu, and export it as Markdown to open it up on a website or a different app that uses the Markdown language exclusively. I'm thrilled about this new feature, and although it seems like a small thing, there will come a time in the near future that you're grateful that Apple has finally listened and the Markdown language can be utilized in Notes or exported out of Notes. So those are some of my favorite new features in macOS 26. From the ability to customize folders, to the ability to edit, change, and reorganize your menu bar, or the new control panel with multiple screens, or best of all, the new Spotlight functions that allow you to do more than globally search. You can search for applications, you can search for files, you can run scripts right from Spotlight, and you can even use it as a clipboard manager. To the brand new journal app, the brand new phone app, or the brand new updates to some of our most favorite apps like Photos, messages, reminders, and notes. macOS 26 has so many new features and tools that it's almost guaranteed to make your life easier, better, a little more colorful, and a little more fun. But there's just one more thing left to talk about. Before I drop my MacWhisperer power tip, if you've already learned a ton and gotten great value, give this video a thumbs up. That makes it easy for other people to find it. And if you've got a question, a comment, a feature I didn't talk about, or something you want to know more about, drop it into the comments section. I absolutely love my YouTube community and I love to hear from you guys. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, why not? That's like having a Mac and not upgrading to the latest, greatest operating system. By subscribing to my channel and hitting that notify bell, you'll always be alerted whenever I drop new content. And now with OS 26 here, I have a ton of new videos in the pipeline and I would hate for you to miss any of them. So with that being said, let's jump into the power tip. Do you remember a year ago when Apple first announced iOS 18 and macOS 15, and every third word in their presentation was Apple Intelligence this and Apple Intelligence that? Notice what we're not hearing a lot about these days? That's right, Apple Intelligence. Apple got egg on their face for the way they overhyped Apple Intelligence, and the features weren't that great. So Apple's now keeping quiet about Apple Intelligence, but that doesn't mean they haven't added new features. In macOS 26, we've got a host of tools that are supported through Apple Intelligence, and I want to walk you through some of the most exciting ones. Let's start with our Image Playground. Image Playground is an app that allows you to generate AI images from your Mac, and you can do it with all sorts of styles. Opening up the app, you can create a new image by clicking in the upper right-hand corner here. There are several different styles that you can use to create your images. Clicking on this tool here will show you some of them. First off, we've got Genmoji. Genmoji is a way to generate customized emojis, either by using a customized prompt or by combining two existing emojis. Let me show you what it looks like. Let's grab this emoji here, click the little emoji button, and let's add the cat with heart eyes. It's going to take these two emojis and give us a combination of both of them. It's what I've always wanted, a cat version of the MacWhisperer emoji. When you're ready to add an emoji into your library, you can right-click on it, or you can copy it, share it, edit the caption that helps you find it easily, or add that emoji right into your emoji toolbar where you can use it to send texts, emails, or anywhere that you use standard emojis. Coming back up to the Style tool, you can choose other styles for your AI artwork, such as the animation style. And when you choose these styles, you can put a prompt at the bottom, you can add a person in, or you can even click on your photo library here in order for you to choose a photo and let AI do the work for you. Let's take this picture and send it in. Within a few moments, you'll have a great representation of the photo that you inputted and have multiple options you can choose from. Not crazy about the animation style? You can also use the illustration style, which gives you a more two-dimensional image, or the sketch style, which adds a little style and dimension to it. But they added an additional feature in for macOS 26. Clicking right here, you can choose ChatGPT as your AI image creation tool. It'll prompt you when you first do it, and it'll give you additional options like an oil painting, watercolor, a vector graphic, anime, or even print. Let's take a look at how the oil painting looks. Clicking on it and letting it process, and in just a few moments, you'll have a beautiful masterpiece, perfect for framing, sharing, or adding into any of your documents. It's an easy tool, and it's built right in with Apple Intelligence and the Image Playground. Apple Intelligence shows up all over the place in macOS 26, allowing you to do live translations in text messages, phone calls, and even on FaceTime. But the best Apple Intelligence feature of all is inside of the newly redesigned Shortcuts app. If you've never used the Shortcuts app on your Mac or your phone, you're not alone. It can be overwhelming, but it's also an easy way to create a complicated set of tasks that you can perform with a single button click. And with the new Shortcuts app in macOS 26, we've got some new tools and features, like the ability to use automation right on your Mac. By clicking on the plus button, you can add in all sorts of automations that will trigger your shortcuts when a certain criteria is met, Like when you get an email from a specific person, you could have a response pre-created. Or when your mom texts you, you could give her a thumbs up, letting her know you've seen the text before you actually have, so she doesn't bother you asking why you don't read her messages. You can have it track a specific folder. When you add new items into that folder, it could run any one of your scripts. You can even have it trigger a script when you connect to a certain Wi-Fi, like showing up at work, or when you connect Bluetooth, like your AirPods. All of these new automations add so much functionality in the Shortcuts app, making it even more powerful than it already was. In addition to being able to use automations, we've also got new tools inside of our shortcuts. So let's head over to the Shortcuts section and let's create a new shortcut by clicking the plus button. Here you've got tons of options like sending a message or playing a certain song, showing an alert, or choosing something from a menu. But the new tool right here is the Apple Intelligence functionality. From here, you can select any of the built-in options for writing tools, like making a list or making a table or proofreading or rewriting text. You can even use it to create new images with Image Playground. And in addition to that, by using the Apple Intelligence Use Model option, you can come right in and connect directly to ChatGPT to perform any kind of script without needing to go into your menu bar or into your applications folder, and without doing multiple tasks in order to solve a simple problem. Thank you, Apple, for bringing Apple Intelligence directly into the Shortcuts app and also adding it into the Mac in places where we can use it for translation, for summarization, for writing tools, and so much more. So that's what we've got for today's video, all about my favorite features of macOS 26. Don't forget to head over to the description section or hit this QR code right here to download your free smart guide, making it easy for you to revisit all of the features we talked about today and learn exactly how to use them. I hope you learned a ton in today's video, but there's always more to learn. Check out this video right here for even more amazing Apple tips and tricks to make everything easier. I'm Dylan Stewart, the Mac Whisperer, and I'll see you in the comments.